Alright, so today we're going to go over dressage rules. So like Deanna said, there are rule books, and in dressage it's really simple. Your rules for what you and your horse wear is all in chapter 4. There's kind of no other rules that is like an exception later on in the book. It's all in chapter 4, which is really nice and easy to look through. So I'll start with myself. So you can tell I have kind of a dressage get up on. So I have my helmet. You always need a helmet, that's kind of standard. In dressage, you are allowed to wear a safety vest. You can even use the ones that are inflatable as long as they adhere to the jacket colors, which is usually a dark colored jacket, or it could be gray as well. Usually the gray ones are kind of a dark gray, almost black, is the norm that you'll see and find. After that, your hair. So I have my hair in a bun with a little bow. They're easy to find at Green Hawk or Nordstrom or wherever. So if you have long hair, it has to be in a hairnet. It could also be in a bun without the hairnet or a braid. And you can find different ones with lots of bling on them if you want to be that blingy or not. After that, your spurs are allowed to be pretty much any kind as long as they're metal, smooth, no sharp edges, that kind of thing. So these are rowel spurs. So I'll turn towards the camera. So you can see they roll. These are allowed. The only exception for these would be if you are a junior on a pony. You cannot use rowel spurs. Other than that, most spurs are allowed. And again, refer to the book because the book is really good for dressage. The spurs are all drawn out for you in a diagram. So for spurs, bits, things like that, if it's not in the book, typically you can't use it. So just check the book to see, double check that your spurs are out there, and you'll be fine. Other than that, your whip. So this is a dressage whip. It's longer than you would see in a jumper ring. You can't add anything that's not made from the manufacturer, so you can't add like a colorful tail at the end. You'll have to take it off or cut it off at the show. So this one can be 120 centimeters because I am on a horse. If you are on a pony, it has to be 100 centimeters or less. And it can be any color, so mine is white. You can get them in all sorts of colors. Typically, you'll see more like a conservative color, so navy, black, white, those are kind of the normal colors. Other than that, I also have a stock tie on. So this one is pretty easy to take on and off. There's a Velcro on the back. You can also get some that you have to tie yourself. Either one is fine. You can wear a typical tie or a bow tie as well, but you do need to have something else on. And under my show jacket, I have a collared shirt. That is also required. It can be a short sleeve or a long sleeve. It does not matter as long as there's a collar. In dressage, you always have to wear gloves. I know hunter jumpers, sometimes it's optional. In dressage, you always have to have gloves on. They don't specify what color until you're up to like international level. So if you have white gloves, you can wear them. Typically, you'll see kind of a black or dark navy glove is kind of the norm. Other than that, for boots, I have a pair of dressage boots on. They're not patent leather, they're just a normal leather. You can have either one. You can also have boots like Deanna has on or Sam that you'll see later on as well. So a typical kind of field boot is allowed as well. So you don't need fancy dressage gear for your first show. That's not a requirement. For juniors as well, jodhpurs and jodhpur boots are permitted. So you can have those on as well. In the rule book, they do state for inclement weather, you can have a suitable protective hat cover or an overcoat, so ideally transparent or conservative in color, so don't show up with a hot pink rain jacket, maybe not allowed, but if you have a black one or something like that, that's definitely permitted. But again, read your prize list because some shows may want something different in case of inclement weather. And you can always ask, if it's pouring rain, you can always go up to the steward or show organizer and ask them. They'll be able to tell you. And then for shows, we always have bronze and gold. They're two different distinctions. The only big differences are your breech colors. So for bronze, you can have white, like I have on. You could have a light pair of breeches like Deanna has on, or a conservative plain color. So if you have like a navy, that's totally allowed as well. However, in gold, you can only have white or light colored. So no more conservative solid colored breeches. And other than that, your whip, if you're showing in a gold championship class, you are not allowed to use your whip. And again, that's usually stated in your prize list under the championship classes. So just read over your prize list, that's really important. And again, like Deanna mentioned, they'll be referenced in the prize list what rules to look at. So that's kind of it for my attire.